especially in healthcare, in stressful environments such as the hospital. Maybe it would be worthwhile if expressions of emotions are a little more normalized.
That would be nice. I feel like to just be human.
Yeah. I mean, how are you supposed to feel when some of these horrible things that happen that you see in the ER? Like, it is heartbreaking, and you don't want to be someone who isn't feeling of that. So, I mean, but I understand. I've been there. I've been there. I've worked in the ER. I've seen a lot of really hard stuff. And when I was in an ER, there was a supervisor that I think had some emotional wisdom. In the ER that I worked in, I have never heard so many, like, it's almost like how many curse words people could say in the same sentence. I mean, it was almost like a talent that everyone in that ER had. It was like more than half of the words that came out of everyone's mouth was a curse word. And the supervisor said something to me about it sometimes. She said, we got to let people like express their emotions here at work so they don't take it home. I thought that was very wise.
I think that permission in itself is a breath, the permission to be able to say, I didn't like that situation at all. I found that really hard. That pushed me to my limits, and I need a moment, because so often we talk about family caregivers, those who are not on the front line and generally don't have medical background. They step into a role because it's necessary. And then we have the caregivers who are on the front line, our nurses, our doctors, our medical professionals who are doing this day to day. And so often you hear about the fact that when they lose a patient, there is no time for them to grieve in that moment. They have to move on to the next trauma coming in until they have to wait till the end of the day or the next day or whenever the briefing may be for that situation. And that's hard to watch as a caregiver coming into that space, to not see them being able to have a moment before they have to go and tackle the next trauma that they're experiencing. So it is very much on both sides of the equation where there isn't space really for either type of caregiver to have appropriate emotions in those spaces. And through this journey of hosting this podcast, I've had the privilege of meeting a number of medical professionals who are trying to change that specific element for caregivers in both aspects. And I really wanted to ask about, what does a nervous system stuck on, the switch is continually on, actually feel like in the body? And what are the most common signs that you see that this is actually a state of nervous system dysfunction?
Well, I think you nailed it earlier when you said going home after a long, stressful day and, hey, I'm home now. I can relax and it's time to sleep. And I am, in fact, tired, but then not being able to let down and have that exhale. That's a sign that it's stuck on. And that is an appropriate signal to see as a sign, okay, I need to learn some strategies that will allow like the nervous system regulation. And like, it's probably useful to define what nervous system regulation is. And I think we could define it simply, and I'd be interested to know how you would define it. But I think that it's when the mind and body are getting the same message. When I'm safe, I can relax now, and your body also understands that. I think that's nervous system regulation, is when the body gets the memo from that the mind has told it.